At Sofiaro, we believe that every dog deserves a spa day, and what better way to pamper your pooch than with our fully equipped mobile grooming service. We bring the salon to your driveway so your furry friend can enjoy a stress-free grooming experience without the hassle of car rides or waiting in line. From a simple bath to a full-on makeover, our gentle and loving groomers are here to make your pup look and feel fabulous, all while keeping the tail wags and barks of joy coming. So sit back, relax, and let us turn your pup into the best-dressed dog on the block. Call or text 254-992-2393 to book your next appointment. You can also set up an appointment on our Facebook page by clicking on our online booking link. Good evening to you. Good Tuesday evening to you. CBUS Sports Broadcasting coming to you live from McGregor High School as the McGregor Bulldogs welcome in the Cubs of Clifton High School. Cubbies come in tonight at 11-13, 1-0 in district play. Zach Stumball's Bulldogs come in at 8-12, 1-0 in district play as well. Both these teams opened up with a win last Friday night. Let's see if we can pull that graphic up here for you. As mentioned, Zach Stumball's teams come in at 8-12, 1-0 in district play. Tom's Daniel Clifton Cubs, 11-13 overall, 1-0. So both these teams pick up a victory in their first district action of the season. 3A Region 3 District 17. The Bulldogs traveled up to West to beat the Trojans quite handily, 67-46. The Cubs took on the West Trojans and beat them by about 20 points as well. We'll get the scores from that game a little later on in tonight's broadcast. This is the Sofiaro Dog Grooming and Boutique pregame show. We do appreciate you tuning in tonight. Young ladies tonight, the varsity Lady Bulldogs took another one on the chin tonight as the Lady Cubs knocked them off 43-11. Looking at the starting lineups in tonight's contest, for the Cubs of Clifton High School, number 2, Rico De La Hoya, a sophomore, averaging 7.5. Number 4, Yuri Sarda, a junior, averaging 10.6. Number 11, a junior, averaging 8.8, is Eduardo Garcia. Number 15, Jacob Humphreys, a senior, averaging 5.6. And Deacon Williams, senior, averaging 3, will wear number 24. For the Bulldogs, Juju Franks, number 0, the 6-foot senior, averaging 13.2. Leading scorer so far this season for the Bulldogs. Also, Braxton Franks, a 5'8 senior, averaging 4.9. Chance Smith, the freshman, averaging 10 even at 5'11. Bubba Zacharias, big ball game last Friday night up at West. Leading scorer unofficially with 19 points is what I had in that contest. The 6'2 senior will wear number 10. And number 35, Luke Appleby, the 6'3 senior, junior, averaging 4.2 points per contest. Coming into tonight's action, the last 7 games, the Cubs 2-5 overall, lost in overtime to Millsap 55-50 back on December 29th. These are tournament games. Then lost to Keene 51-60 on the 30th. Second nightcap of that night, 38-46, lost to Arvid. On January 2nd, another loss, 49-79 at Meyer. Then on Monday, January 6th, a 10-point loss, 53-63 at Perrin Witt. Saturday the 10th, a 50-66 loss at Graham. And as mentioned, last Friday night, the 16th, they hosted the Trojans of Troy, came away with a 65-42 win there. Bulldogs last 7 games, 4-3 overall. dating back to the 29th, a 61-54 win versus Largo Vista at Detroit Tourney. On the 29th as well, a 51-55 loss to Groesbeck. Then on the 30th, they turned it around with a 44-41 overtime win versus Tioga. At Robinson, a 3-point loss on Friday, January 2nd, 63-60. On Tuesday, January 6th, they took on Valor Prep and won that game 65-55. Then traveled up to Stephenville to take on the Buzzsaws. The Yellow Jackets came away with a 33-91 victory on January 9th. Last Friday night up at West, first district win, 67-46 for the Bulldogs. We got about 53 seconds left. We're going to take a quick break, come back in just a second. CBUS Sports Broadcasting.
CBUS Sports Radio for tonight's broadcast. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at CBUS Sports Radio, all one word, for live updates on all our broadcasts. You can also listen to our broadcast archives on demand on our website, www.cbussportsradio.com.
As mentioned, the starting lineups in tonight's contest. Sorry, folks, for getting some feedback. I'm trying to kill that for you right now. I do apologize. Starting lineups once again for the Cubs of Clifton High School. Number 2, Rico De La Hoya is a sophomore. Number 4, Yuri Sarda is a junior. Number 11, Eduardo Garcia, also a junior. Then two seniors in the front court. Number 15, Jacob Humphreys, and number 24, Deacon Williams. For Coach Dunball's Dogs, number 0, Juju Franks is senior. Number 1, Braxton Franks, also a senior. The freshman Chance Smith will wear number 3. Bubba Zacharias, a 6'2" senior, wears number 10. And number 35, Luke Appleby, the big man in the middle. Upcoming broadcast, CBUS Sports Broadcasting. Friday night, depending on the weather, we were trying to go down to Troy, see if we get approval for that contest or not. We'll just have to see what the weather is going to look like. Keep an eye on our website, cbussportsradio.com. We'll keep you updated there whether we're going to be able to do that game on Friday night based on the weather. So the Cubs in their road blacks trimmed in green and white. Home uniforms for the Bulldogs, white uniforms trimmed in black and gold. Bubba Zacharias will take on Deacon Williams center circle to get this one underway. Only running a 2-camera operation tonight, so bear with me, folks. Try to flip that back and forth. 3-man officiating crew. Getting this one underway. Up into the back court, controlled by Chance Smith. Bulldogs take it into the front court. 1-2-2 zone. Skip pass cross to Smith, down in the corner to Franks. Braxton on the baseline, picks up his dribble, back out to Smith. He'll launch a 3-ball, a little bit long. Appleby gets the board, back out top to Bubba. Elbow back down to Appleby. Juju Franks, leading scorer on the left wing. Back out top, they're going to reset the offense. Skip pass, both over to Franks. Smith, elbow right side. Zacharias drops it down low, kicks it back out to Juju Franks with a 3-ball and nails it. So nice ball movement to get it started for the Bulldogs tonight. Juju Franks drills his first 3. Pressure in the backcourt. Cubbies get it across the midcourt stripe. Down in the corner now. Long shot, nothing but net. Number 3, that's our Eduardo Garcia. So quickly they knot it back up at 3 apiece at the 7-minute mark. Front court, Braxton down on the baseline. Back out top to Juju. Elbow right side over to Smith. Left elbow, Bubba floats one up, 12-footer, a little short, gets his rebound off the glass, and gets it to drop. Nice follow by Bubba Zacharias. De La Hoya brings it up. 1-2-2, full court press for the, or half court press, excuse me. Ball into an inbound pass, trying to hit Deacon Williams as the cut on the left side, off his hands and out of bounds. Bulldogs will take possession of the ball. 2-2-1, full court pressure as the Bulldogs beat it into the front court. Braxton on the baseline, drops it off to Appleby. Left side, drops it off to Zacharias, gets him up in the air, gets the shot up, gets fouled. Bubba will go to the line, shooting 2. So foul on number 15, Jacob Humphreys, his first, team first. As Zacharias with 2 points will go to the line. first shot. Bubba, nothing but net. Slow and deliberate at the line. Zacharias rattles in and out. Rebound pulled down by Sarda. As the Cubs quickly get it into the front court. Loose ball. Juju Franks able to control it. He'll go the other way. Weaves through traffic. Braxton Franks on the left side. Spin move up off the glass. Misses the shot. Smith goes up. Out of bounds. No call. De La Hoya will bring it back into the front court. Skips it over to, I believe that's Sarda for a three ball off the back of the rim. Up and over the back is going to be called out of bounds. No bucket. So went off the rim and kicked up, hit the back top or the top of the backboard and fell back down. So quickly, Bulldogs having no trouble beating this 2-2 press, 2-2-1 press. Smith on the timeline, left side. Elbow left side into the corner to Braxton Franks. He'll launch a three ball, rattles in and out. Juju with the rebound. Gets it off to his cousin, left wing once again. Gets it out top to Smith. Pulls it back out on the right timeline extended. Juju between the keys will reset the offense. Smith down on the baseline to Appleby. Out top, back over to Smith. Thought about the three, gets it into Zacharias, kicks it over. Nice steal there by Eduardo Garcia. As he slows it down and they'll reset the offense. He didn't have numbers. Deacon Williams back out top to De La Hoya. 1-2-2 on the elbow. That's Deacon Williams in the corner. De La Hoya, or excuse me, that's Garcia. Air ball. Rebound pulled down by Braxton Franks. Quickly in the front court. Juju Franks up off the glass. Gets it to drop. Nice outlet pass by Bubba. Give him the assist. Cubbies come quickly the other way. Garcia out of control. Loose ball. Chance Smith picks it up right in front of us. Kicks it off to Juju. Takes it into the front court. Picked up there by De La Hoya. A lot of bodies. Big move and drops it down. 7 points for Juju Franks. 10-3. Bulldogs early. 4:35 mark. Timeout. Coach Tom Daniel wants to take a breather. Let's see if it's a full or a 30. 30-second timeout. We'll take one as well. CBUS Sports Broadcasting.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Bulldogs starting fast tonight. 10-3 lead at the 4:31 mark. Juju Franks started off fast on Friday night. 12 points in the first quarter. Ended with 12 as he was fouled out of that contest. He's got 7. Bubba Zacharias with 3. So the Cubs will inbound on the far sideline. Bulldogs come out of the timeout in man-to-man defense. Gets it into Garcia. Top of the key, number 1 into the game. That's Quarter Sweat. Down on the baseline, Garcia, loose ball. Zacharias all over him. Gets a bump. Lucky no foul called there. Skip pass to Sarda, left side. Gets it on the baseline. Got away with a walk. Zacharias tracks down the loose ball. Skip pass into the front court. Tried to get it to Chance Smith, but it's going to be out of bounds. So the Cubs will take possession of the ball as Bubba tried to get it down to Chance Smith. Also into the game, Ala Calderon for the Cubs. Quarter Sweat, I believe another man. Calderon gets fouled in the paint. Looks like Luke Appleby will pick up his first. Hernandez also into the game for the Cubs. Sweat will inbound. Chance Smith on him. Gets it into Calderon. Goes up for the shot. Gets it to drop. He's fouled. I believe Luke Appleby will pick up his second here at the 3:47 mark. So Calderon with his 2, averaging 4.8 for the junior, will go to the line to try to complete the conventional three-point play. 10-5 your score. First quarter, CBUS Sports Broadcasting. Calderon shot, nothing but net. Nice stroke. Full court press once again. Over to Juju. Picked up there. Gets it at the Zacharias at the midcourt stripe. Gets it to Chance across the timeline. Zacharias back cutter to Braxton Franks. Up and off the glass. Gets the shot to drop and gets fouled. Nice back cut by Braxton Franks. Zacharias found him once again. So Braxton will go to the line, shooting one. Picks up his first 2 points. Second team foul on the night for the Cubs. I didn't see who they called the foul on. So Franks off the back of the rim, Calderon. Luke Appleby comes up with a loose ball out of bounds. Should be Bulldog basketball, and it is. I believe they called it on Calderon on the foul. We'll double check that. 3:30 mark. Bubba Zacharias to inbound the basketball. Timeline over to Juju, back over to Chance. Skips it back over. They spread it out just a bit, trying to open up the inside. At the elbow, Zacharias. High post. Back cut once again to Braxton Franks. Up the glass, a little bit short, but he'll get fouled and go to the line once again. So Calderon will pick up his second foul. Rico De La Hoya at the scoring table, waiting to check back in, as Braxton Franks will shoot two. First shot is good. So De La Hoya back in. Eduardo Garcia will get a breather for the Cubs. 13-6 is your score. Second shot for Braxton is good as well. So 4 points for Braxton Franks early here in this contest. Once again, 1-2-2 press. Picking him up at the three-quarter mark. Gets it across. Sweat picks up his dribble down to Calderon on the baseline on the right side. Gets away with a travel. Up, they actually called it. Nice defense there by Juju Franks and Bubba Zacharias as they trap the junior on the baseline, using it as another defender. Back over to Juju. Kind of into a 2-1-2 press now. Zacharias gets it across the timeline. Over to Juju on the left wing. Down in the corner to Appleby, back out to Juju. Timeline extended. Appleby, three-point ball from the corner. Air ball, flipped around, Calderon, loose ball. Appleby comes up with it. Chance Smith tries to get down on the baseline. Juju fights through traffic, tries to get it over to Braxton Franks on the back cut, unable to get to it, out of bounds. Turnover, Bulldogs. 14-12, 2:31, first quarter. District action. Bulldogs, both these teams actually trying to go to 2-0 early in district play. De La Hoya gets it across, drops it down to Calderon on the baseline, gets up, misses a shot, rebound. I believe it was Hernandez. Braxton Franks will pick up his first as Hernandez will go to the line shooting two. So second team foul for the Bulldogs. Hernandez, first shot is good as it rattles home. No heights for the Cub lineup tonight. Will Chandler replaces Braxton Franks. Braxton with 4 points early here in the contest. Good showing so far for the senior. Hernandez once again line drive shot, and he'll drop it down. Did they wave off the... Yes, they waved off the shot. Lane violation. Chandler into the front court. Gets it to Zacharias. Back cut. Throws it right to a Cub. They get it into the front court. Gets it over to Hernandez. Alley-oop. Misses a shot. Appleby with the rebound. Drops it off to Juju. They drop back in defense. Picked up by Sweat. Winnerick at the scorer's table waiting to come in for McGregor. Smith on the right side, back over to Will. Looks down low, nothing there. Juju launches a three ball. Air ball, pulled down by Appleby off the glass. Misses the shot. Hernandez with the rebound on the backside. Sweat drops it off to De La Hoya in the front court. Picks up his dribble. De La Hoya thought about the three. Back out top to Garcia. He'll shoot it off the rim over the back on Bubba Zacharias. Not called. Lefty floats up a 2-point shot with De La Hoya. He missed that. Chandler into the front court. Smith right around the 3-point circle. They're going to pull it back out. Reverses it to Juju, down in the corner to Appleby. He'll launch the three off the back of the rim. Offensive push-off on Garcia, not called. Gets it down low, and Bubba Zacharias with the block. Good transition defense. Euro step, Chance Smith misses the shot. Over the back, no call. Down on the floor, rugby. What are they going to call? Bulldog basketball. So nice job by Bubba Zacharias getting back in transition as he swatted that fast break attempt away. Philip Winterick in for Luke Appleby. Appleby, the tallest player on the court tonight, controlling the glass early. Bubba inbounds on the baseline, out top to Chance. Picked up there by De La Hoya. Pulls it back out, left side. Flips it over to Juju on the right side. Kicks it back over. Two-man game. Tries to look down low. Nothing there. Picked up by Zacharias down to Winterick on the baseline. Out of bounds off of a Cub. So Bulldogs will retain possession at 39.82. Sarda, the leading scorer for the Cubs, will replace Sweat. Will Chandler to inbound. 4-second count. Gets it back out to Bubba Zacharias. Over on the wing to Smith. Thought about the three ball. Quickly the Cubs were there. Juju out top. Back over to Chance. Playing a 2-3 that's floating. Cutter back down to Winterick. Goes up. Shot is blocked. Wow, that was close. I thought he got all ball. They're going to call the foul on Deacon Williams. So Philip Winterick will go to the line, shooting two. Coach Tom Daniels not liking the call, folks. Winterick's first shot. Line drive, but Philip able to get it to drop. Luke Appleby back quickly for Bubba Zacharias with 24 seconds left in the quarter. Going to keep Bubba from picking up a cheap one. 16-7 your score. Second shot for Winterick. Off the back of the rim. Controlled by Will Chandler. Down on the baseline. Picks up his dribble. Kicks it back out to Smith. Got away with a walk. Shoots up an air ball. And Garcia will pick up the rebound. Gets it into the front court. Quickly back on defense. Loose ball picked up. Shot taken and missed by number 21, Caden Sweat. Bulldogs go the other way. Appleby launches the three ball off the back of the rim as time will expire. 7-16 your score. First quarter, CBUS Sports Broadcasting.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Texas at highschoolofficials.com.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Good first quarter tonight for the McGregor Bulldogs, leading 15. They corrected the score 15-7. On the floor for the Dogs, going to be the starting lineup. Braxton Franks, Juju Franks, Chance Smith, Zacharias, and Appleby. Ball will be inbounded on the far sideline by the Cubs. Sarda, Humphreys, De La Hoya, Garcia, and Deacon Williams. Starters are into the lineup to start the second quarter for Clifton. Out top, De La Hoya gets away with a walk, spin move, gets it over to Humphreys, goes up, shot again, blocked by Bubba Zacharias into the front court. Chance Smith back out to Braxton. Chance swings it over to Juju. Steps in the three-point line, rattles in and out on an 18-footer. Zacharias keeps the ball alive. De La Hoya picks it up, takes it into the front court. He'll pull it back out. Doesn't have numbers. Step back three for the lefty. Braxton Franks there to fight Humphreys for the rebound off of the Cubs and out of bounds. Bulldog basketball. So Cubs back into that 2-2-1 full court press. Appleby, front court, gets it to Zacharias, kicks it over to Braxton Franks. 3-ball, rattles in and out. Rebound there by Humphreys. He'll hand it off to De La Hoya. He'll bring it up court. Crosses the logo. De La Hoya, Garcia with a long 3-ball, misses everything. Braxton Franks with another rebound. Juju will walk it across, gets it to the right side, hand it off to Chance. Smith still looking for his first 2 points of the night. Looking for a screen, not there. Gets it to Bubba Zacharias, kicks it over to Franks once again. Down on the corner in the left side. Chance, stutter step, Euro, drops it off to Juju on the baseline. Kicks it out, loose ball. Cubbies get it. De La Hoya in transition, goes up, forces it. Nice body control by Rico De La Hoya to pick up his first 2 points. 6-point lead now at the 6:25 mark for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs so far handling the pressure very well. Gets it across the timeline. Earlier in the season, they were struggling with that just a bit. Last couple games have done much better. So Braxton, timeline extended, right side, gets it over to Smith. The freshman with the 3-ball gets called for the travel. He took an extra step, tried to clear some space. Substitution, Calderon back in, number 12, his first appearance, Cade Ramsey for the Cubs. Zacharias will go to the bench, Will Chandler back in. So zone defense for the Bulldogs. De La Hoya at top, gets it on the other side to Ramsey. Kicks it back over to De La Hoya into the corner now to Sarda. Yet to score, the leading scorer gets up, forces it behind the backboard, and off of it, that's out of bounds. So good defense there by the Bulldogs as the Cubs will apply full court pressure once again, this time a 1-2-1-1 zone. So Coach Daniel switching it up every time down, gets it in the front court to Braxton Franks, gets it over to Appleby, little floater, rattles it home. Luke Appleby picks up his first point on a 5-foot jump shot. Nice look by Braxton Franks to get the assist. To the glass, misses the shot. Offensive charge on Garcia. So his first, team's first here. Possession arrow favors the Bulldogs here. Quarter sweat back in. Sarda will go to the bench. Averaging 10.6, as mentioned, has yet to score in the contest. Juju picks up his dribble, gets it in the front court to Appleby. Drops it back off to Juju, timeline extended left side. It's packed back into a looks like a 1-2-2 zone. Gets it back out top to Smith, gets a little extra contact by Sweat. No foul call. Gets away with a walk. Juju on the baseline. He'll draw the foul there as he launches the shot. So foul will be on number 12, Cade Ramsey's his first, team second. Inbound under the left side of the basket for the Bulldogs is number 3. Sterling Clower will come in for his first appearance of the night. And Ramsey will take a breather. 17-9, an 8-point lead for the Dogs. Gets it into Juju on the left side. Picks up his dribble, looking inside, nothing there. Drops it in the corner to Chandler. Back out to Juju. He'll walk it around between the rings. Reset the offense. Right side now to Chandler. Back over to Franks. On the wing, looking down low. Gets it down. Appleby back out top. Quick ball movement. Braxton Franks gets it a shot inside the paint. Gets fouled. No foul called. Quick turnover. Loose ball. Appleby comes up with it off the tip. So flip it over to Juju, and he'll take it the other way. So another turnover for the Cubs. Smith, Zacharias on the bench right now, waiting at the scorer's table. Juju, Euro step, floats it up, nothing but net. Nice looking shot. Senior now has 9 points in the first half. Gets it down in the corner, another loose ball takeaway by the Bulldogs. Chandler gets it across the midcourt line, gets it over to Juju on the right wing, back out to Will. Smith on the left side now, trying to get it down to Appleby, pulls it back out, does get it down, back cut, Braxton Franks was not ready for the Appleby pass as De La Hoya gets it into the front court, goes to the glass, shot is blocked by Chandler, but he'll go to the line, shooting 2 as they call him for the foul. So at the line, Rico De La Hoya, the lefty, puts up his first shot. Nice looking stroke, his 3rd point of the night. Zacharias back in for Braxton Franks. Sarda, as well as Hernandez, will replace Garcia and Sterling Clower. So the second shot for De La Hoya, the sophomore, averaging 7.5. Knuckleball over the back, not call as Appleby brings down the rebound. Chandler drops it off to Smith. The Bulldogs go the other way. Franks left side, back out top. Back over to Franks. Thought about the 3 quickly. Trying to beat the zone as they move the ball around. Zacharias at the elbow. Franks decides to take a 3 ball. Zacharias, long rebound, drops it off to Franks, gets it into the paint. And we get a foul. I believe they're going to call it on Quarter Sweat. His first. Team second at the 3:13 mark. De La Hoya getting some instruction from Coach Tom Daniel. Gets the ball in. Zacharias, left wing, back out to Juju. Got a foul on De La Hoya. His first, team's 3rd. Garcia quickly up off the bench. Coach Tom Daniel saying he was holding his position, and the Juju initiated the contact. Zacharias at the score table, gets it into Juju. Chance Smith back out to Franks, over to Chandler on the left wing. Down low to Appleby. Cutter back over to Smith. He'll launch a 3-ball, air ball, out of bounds off the Bulldogs as Calderon and Hernandez were there, but a Bulldog touched it. It went out of bounds. So 2:53, a 9-point lead, 19-10. So scoring has Bulldogs only 3 points here in the second quarter. Another quick steal. Juju Franks to the glass and knocks it home. Boy, quick hands defensively for the Bulldogs, causing some headaches for the Clifton Cubs tonight. So 11 points here in the first half. Sweat will take a breather. So at 2:42, the Bulldogs will be in the bonus rest of the way. Braxton Frank quickly back in, misses a shot. Zacharias with the rebound, goes up. No foul called as Calderon gets called for the travel as he came down with the rebound. Good call. As Zacharias went up, fought him for the rebound. I thought he was bumped. Officials didn't think so. So Braxton comes in. Appleby will take another breather. Sterling Clower back in, and Garcia will take a break for the Cubs. Will Chandler, left side, gets it into Smith down in the corner. Picked up there by Hernandez. Back out top to Zacharias, who almost got called for a palm, or could have got called for a palm, carrying the basketball. Back over to Franks. Left side, thought about it, bounce pass out top to Juju. Trying to find the cutter down on the baseline. Zacharias back out top to Smith. Over to Franks. Gets it down to Zacharias, low post. Gets it back out top, a lot of contact, no foul call. Zacharias getting manhandled down on the baseline. Gets it over to Smith. Ball tipped up. Chandler able to get it down low off the pass to Juju Franks. Misses the shot. Quickly out of bounds. Loose ball off of, I believe that was Humphreys. With some contact once again in the backcourt. No foul called. So two-man game in the backcourt between Franks and Chance Smith. Gets it to Zacharias across the timeline. Braxton, long thought, launches the 3 and rattles it home. Boy, I think Braxton sat there for 3 seconds before he decided to put it up. He launched it and it went down. Sarda comes into the front court. Left-handed dribble. Chandler fighting for the basketball. Loose ball, steps out of bounds. It will be Cubbies basketball. 1:23 left, second quarter. 14-point Bulldog lead. As Clore will inbound. Now they switch it over to Jacob Humphreys. Gets it into Colorado. Loose ball. Braxton Franks did not see it. Over to Sarda, left side. Chance Smith on him as the Bulldogs are playing man-to-man. Sarda, step back three. Off the back of the rim. Rebound fought down. Calderon takes it to the glass. Nice work. Elliot Carterone, 4 points. Did a good job working the glass on the backside. Doubled up, 24-12. Bulldog lead. In the corner to Franks. Over to Juju. Takes it down the baseline, pumps it up. Nothing but net. Gets the little floater to drop from 6 feet. Timeout. Full timeout for Coach Stumbaugh. Liking what he sees so far. CBUS Sports Broadcast.
Thank you for tuning in to CBUS Sports Radio for tonight's broadcast. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at CBUS Sports Radio, all one word, for live updates on all our broadcasts. You can also listen to our broadcast archives on demand on our website, www.cbussportsradio.com.
Sorry, folks, I got so caught up in getting the game started, I forgot to turn the scoreboard on. So you should see the scoreboard in the middle of the screen now. We're recording this one. We'll post it later. Unfortunately, once again, not enough bandwidth here in the gym at McGregor to get the stream out. So we will post it on our YouTube channel later this evening once I get home. Back to Gatesville. 26-12. Bulldogs on top of the Cubs here. Cubs come in off of a big win last Friday night down at Troy. That's where the Bulldogs are supposed to go on Friday night, depending the weather. We'll have to see what goes with that. Might try to do that remotely if they do or they can get that game in. So full court pressure, 49 seconds in the first half left. Back cut to Hernandez, up and to the glass. Nice look as Hernandez picks up his 6 point. Bubba tried to get back and get contact on the ball, was unable to do it. High post, right side, back out to Juju, 30 seconds. See if they hold for the last shot. Kohler on Franks, backs it out, timeline right side, 20 seconds. Zacharias gets a bump from behind, takes it into the paint, drops it off to Braxton Franks from the left side, a little short on the 3 ball. Humphreys with the rebound. Ball scoots out, picked up there. Sweat gets it over to Humphreys into the front court. Gets away with a Euro step walk as Zacharias is pulled down. Now we're going to get a little contact as Bubba Zacharias and Calderon go at it. Bubba does not back down. Coach Stumbaugh wanting a little aggressive foul there. So .52 on the clock. So Zacharias, hold on. What are they calling, a jump ball? Or officiating group? Nope, they're just going to let it inbound. Launches the long 3 ball. Falls short, but your score, 26-14. We'll come back on the Sophiara Dog Grooming and Boutique halftime show. Go over the scores and look at the upcoming contests for both these teams on CBUS Sports Broadcasting.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the UIL, are the 825,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Texas. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
In school sports, it's easy to see the wins, the moments that make headlines. But there's so much work that goes unseen for any of it to happen. My name is Phil Risen, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Throughout the country, athletic administrators dedicate countless hours to making life-changing opportunities possible for student athletes through sports. Their sacrifice is fueled by the belief that every student can grow and deserves their time to shine. On behalf of the NIAAA, we want to thank every athletic administrator for your tireless dedication to providing 7.8 million students across the country a path to a better future.
This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
So we'll get this one underway here for you. Possession arrow will go to the Cubs. Ball's tossed in over to the officiating crew, so we'll get this one back in play. Sarter inbounded on the far left side in front of the home stands. Working a two-camera operation tonight, folks. Hopefully you guys can see everything okay. Try to get back to a three-camera operation next week. Sarter gets the ball into De La Hoya into the backcourt. Over to Garcia, tries it on the baseline, pulls it back out to Sarter. Back out top to De La Hoya. Over in the corner to Humphrey. He'll launch a three ball off the corner. Deacon Williams with the rebound, gets a push from behind. He'll get the foul call. So Williams will pick up a foul early here in the third period. His second, team's first, as we'll take it the other way. So first good possession there for the Bulldogs. Braxton Franks, left side on the baseline to Appleby. Back out on the wing, looking for the back cutter. Juju on the baseline now. We'll bring it back out. Smith on the right side now. Reverse the ball to Franks. High-low post offense tonight for Coach Dunball. Kicks it back out top to Smith. Over to Juju. Almost picked off there by Garcia. Chance will launch the three and nail it. First point for the freshman, Chance Smith, tonight. He gets on the board here in the third quarter. 1-2-2 zone as they trap on the wings here. Sarter back over to Garcia, flips it over to De La Hoya. Tries to find it into the paint, floats up the right-hander, and gets it to drop. Nice-looking shot from 13 feet. We'll drop back into that 2-2-1 press. Bulldogs able to beat it. They haven't had trouble with it all night. Juju flips it back over to Chance. Thought about the three again. Juju down on the baseline to Appleby. Kicks it back out to Chance. He'll take the three. Freshman's feeling it. Back-to-back three balls. Good look by Luke Appleby, finding the freshman. Standing wide open at the top of the key. De La Hoya in the corner to Deacon Williams. Back out top to De La Hoya. Shoots it left-handed. He floated that last one up right-handed and hit nothing but net. So Sarta, leading scorer, unable to score yet in tonight's podcast. Into the paint, drops it down low, picked off by Juju. He'll go the other way, drops it off to Appleby into the front court. Loose ball on the steal goes to De La Hoya. He'll get it up quickly as he crosses the timeline, floats it up, gets called for the charge. They'll wave it off. Nice job once again by Bubba Zacharias standing his ground. As the sophomore went in, substitution Calderon for Deacon Williams. Also, it looks like Quarter Sweat will replace Rico De La Hoya with his two fouls. Zacharias gets into the middle of the floor to beat the 2-2-1. Back over to Juju. Down in the corner to Braxton Franks. On the baseline to Appleby. Drops it off to Zacharias on the cut. Boy, good give and go. The big man picking up some good assists tonight. Chance Smith going to get called for a foul from behind. He got beat. Looked like some of the Miami Hurricane defensive backs last night. Little handsy on the play. Grabbing to slow him down. Humphrey gets it into Garcia, who's running the point. 1-2-2 zone once again for the Bulldogs. Skips it into the high point to Sweat. Loose ball. Humphrey able to track it down on the right side. Gets it to Sweat. He'll launch a three off the rim. Zacharias with another board. Bubba averaging a double-double. Comes in averaging 11.5 points, 9.6 on the glass. It's caught in no man's land. Juju able to track it back down with the assistance of Zacharias. Picks up his dribble. Frank skip pass over to Smith. Takes it to the glass, draws contact, no foul on Calderon. Comes up with the rebound, he'll kick it off to Sweat into the front court for the Cubs. Humphreys with a sky ball off the top of the rim. Ball brought down. Chance takes it to the glass and underhand scoop, drops it down for his 8th point. Juju Franks, good job in defense as well, pressuring off of Sarta and out of bounds. as he stepped around Sarda, and the ball went out of bounds off of Juju Franks. Humphrey out, Hernandez back in as Sarda will inbound the ball. The leading scorer for the Cubs, still looking to pick up his first 2 points of tonight. Down low, Hernandez gets a loose ball, floats up the little 3-foot bunny, misses the shot. Rebound pulled down by Appleby. Unofficially, I've got 7 in the books for Luke Appleby tonight on the glass. Juju brings it to the left side. Right side, versus Braxton. 2-man game out top, trying to spread the offense. Fakes the three-pointer from 32, and they almost left his feet on it. Zacharias, back cut, unable to get the pass down. Appleby kicks it back out, gives it to Juju, 17-footer, rattles it home. Good inside-outside look for the Bulldogs. Appleby with like 6 assists. Loose ball, stolen back by Sarda. Gets it over in the corner to Sweat. He'll launch a 3 from the left side on the rim. Gets his own rebound, gets it down low. Zacharias comes up with the errant pass in the front court to Braxton. Back out to Appleby. Zacharias at the left elbow over to Chance Smith. Shoots the 3 ball off the rim. Knocked out of bounds, volleyball style, Luke Appleby. 3:24, 38-16. Bulldogs with a commanding 22-point lead. So Franks and Appleby comes out. Chandler and Winterick back in for the Bulldogs. Sarda, high post to Garcia. Back to Sarda, right wing. Top of the screen. Garcia launches a 3 off the back of the rim. Bubba with another glass cleaner. Juju stutter steps, gets bodied up by Sarda. He's going to get called for a foul. His first, team's third. So Chance in the backcourt, gets it across. High post to Zacharias. Turn around from 15 off the back of the rim. Hernandez with a good rebound. Loose hand there, or quick hands by Will Chandler, unable to knock it away. Sarda on the left side now gets it across the timeline. Forces it down. Will Chandler in his hip pocket. Skip pass over to Sweat. On the right side, kicks it back over to Sarda in the corner to Garcia. Launches a quick 3. Loose ball. Bubba Zacharias once again comes up with it. And we get a foul on Calderon. I believe that's his third. 3 team fouls. We'll get a timeout here. So Coach Daniel, a 30. We'll take a quick one as well. CBUS Sports Broadcasting. You're listening to the CBUS Sports Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week. Pretty good crowd tonight. They had a Rotary pancake breakfast for some scholarship funding. Very packed here tonight at McGregor High School. Pancakes smell really good. I didn't get any dinner tonight, so I was thinking about it. Just didn't have time to get it going with the setup that I had to do quickly. So 38-16 your score to 2:35 mark here in the third quarter. Will be Bulldog basketball in the backcourt. Bubba Zacharias heading back to toss it in to Chance Smith, and it looks like they're playing man-to-man defense now for the Cubs. Chance brings it across versus Garcia. Timeline left side. Drops it off to Zacharias on the weave. Back out top to Chandler. They're spreading the floor. Coach Stoneball wants him to pull it out. Juju on the give and go. Takes the 3 ball. Rattles in and out, but gets it to drop. Nice touch by the senior. Garcia quickly the other way. Over in the corner, Hernandez right side. We get a stop. I think we got a foul called. Not sure who he called it on. Garcia out. De La Hoya back in. Sweat back out top to De La Hoya. Chandler on him, man-to-man defense. Pulls it back out right side, hands it off to Sweat. Cross court over to Ramsey. Excuse me, that's Clower. Caden Sweat also in the game for the Cubs. Tough man-to-man defense, 149, 25-point lead. Ball anticipated, stolen by Phil Rennerwick. Gets it hammered by Caden Sweat. They call a foul as Rennerwick. Phillip with a little smirk on his face. He thought it was clean as well. I did too, so did Caden Sweat. Sweat goes to the line shooting two. Sweat, the senior, got up quickly, averaging 1.1. First shot is line drive, so Winterick gets his second points. Second point of the night, 138. Shot a little bit hard. De La Hoya with the rebound. Quickly, Cubs go the other way. They love to push the basketball. Nice anticipation by Chandler. Steps in front of it, gets it to Juju into the front court. Pulls it back out, gives it to Zacharias in the paint. In the corner to Smith on the baseline. Goes up, drops it off to Winterick. Blocked shot by Sweat. That was clean that time for sure. Zacharias spin move on Colder. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Wow. Juju Franks goes up, takes some contact. The ball goes behind the basket, but they call no foul and out of bounds on the shot. The Sweat goes out. And Ramsey back in. De La Hoya gets it in the corner. Three-ball shot, a little bit hard there by Clower. Chance Smith with the rebound. He'll come the other way. 1 minute left, third quarter. Hands it off to Chandler, into the paint. Back out to Juju, 22-footer off the rim. Winterick with the rebound, drops it off to Chandler. Kicks it back out to Juju, takes it to the glass with the left hand. Misses a shot, out of bounds. Nice effort there on the glass by the Bulldogs to keep it alive. Juju was out of bounds when he caught that, so turnover. Ball goes to the Cubs. Zacharias out with 45.63. Braxton Franks will replace him. Bubba with 5 points tonight. De La Hoya into the front court, gets it down the corner to Clower. Back out to Ramsey on the left wing, drops it off. The lefty takes the three ball off the front of the rim. Chandler with another glass cleaning. He's doing a good job defensively tonight on the boards for the Bulldogs. They're going to pull it back 20 seconds, take the last shot. Smith drops it off to Chandler, almost a turnover. Now that 14 seconds, looks for the crease, drops it off to Braxton Franks. He'll take it into the paint. Underhand scoop shot, gets it to drop. Nice move by Braxton Franks. Shot is launched mid-court, just off the backboard, and we'll go to the fourth period. Bulldogs able to hold the Cubs to 2 points in the third quarter. 44-16 is your score. C-Bus Sports Broadcasting. So off to the fourth quarter, 44-16, a 28-point Bulldog lead here. And going into the final stanza, trying to improve to 2-0 in district play. So Juju will inbound it as it is the Bulldogs basketball. Chance Smith will Walk it across the timeline, picked up there by De La Hoya. Good matchup between them all night. Kicks it out to Braxton, top of the key over on the left side. Gets it in the corner. He gets a push from behind. Shot does not count as Smith hit it from the corner. So 15 on the foul. So with the push from behind is Humphreys. Braxton will inbound it, gets it to Smith. Left corner, picked up there by De La Hoya once again. Good matchup. Juju Franks out top on Sarda, picks him up, man-to-man defense. Juju glides it to the glass, misses the shot, rebound, pulled down, fought for, Renerick on the floor, rugby style. Another tie-up, another loose ball. We get a foul called on the floor. Going to be called on Rico De La Hoya, his second. Team second, to his third, team second. So Braxton Franks will inbound under his own basket. Gets it into Renerick. On the baseline, hands it back to to Braxton. Humphrey on him. Loose ball. Smith brings it back down. Almost 7:15 left here in the ball game. Little weave action, trying to eat some clock. Franks back over to Juju. Gets it to his cousin. Steps it back out. Humphrey on him. Got a switch there. A little mismatch with Franks being covered by Humphreys. Little handsy, reaches in, nothing there. Juju pulls it back out, looks for his cousin Braxton, top of the key. Drops it off to Smith. Floater, three-point shot, nothing but net. Boy, they executed the weave there. 47-16 your score. Garcia on the baseline. Floats it up. That is Deacon Williams. Misses the shot. Ball's batted around volleyball style. Will Chandler able to pull it down. Gets it to Juju. We've got a call here. 30-second timeout by Coach Stumbaugh. Let's look at the upcoming broadcast, or I keep saying that, folks, upcoming schedules for both of these teams. For the Clifton Cubs, next Tuesday night, the 27th, they host West as the Trojans will come in. All these are 7:30 tips as well, folks. Then on the 30th, that's a Friday, Whitney comes in. Might be the most athletic team in the district. Should be a good matchup when the Bulldogs play the Wildcats as well. Then on February 3rd, they travel back down to Troy where they're able to pick up a nice win last Friday night. Then McGregor will come back up to Clifton to take on the Cubs on February 6th. We'll go over the Bulldogs' upcoming schedule when we get the opportunity. So Bubba gets it into the backcourt, drops it off to Chance Smith. Looks like an extended man-to-man. They're playing loose. Zacharias, top of the key, works on Sarda. Over to Braxton, into the paint, drops it over to Will Chandler. Gets the cutter off Smith, loose ball, able to get it. Tried to bounce pass it. Winterick once again down and dirty. Gets it to Chandler, loose ball. Winterick gets it up, misses the shot. Chandler fights for the rebound. Garcia able to go down court as he was fouled by Chance Smith. So a couple of chances there for the Bulldogs, just couldn't get it to drop as Winterick came up with a loose ball, just came up a little bit short on the shot. So down low to Calderon. Young man is very solidly built. Picks up his 5th point of the night. Does a good job on the glass. Smith drops it off to Braxton. Picked up there by Sarda. Reach in, foul, nothing. Turn around, off the glass. Offensive charge on Braxton Franks. Little out of control there. Mario Dominguez into the ball game tonight. His first action, he'll replace Braxton Franks. Braxton picked up his 2nd foul. Has 9 points on the night. Good ball game for Braxton Franks. Coach Stumbaugh talking to him just a little bit. Garcia with a long 3-ball off the back of the rim. Calderon does a good job of getting position on the taller Bubba Zacharias. A little more stoutly built than Bubba is. Did a good job on his base to use his block out. Dominguez on top of, or covering, Gets it over down low to Calderon, off the glass, misses the shot. Sarda with the rebound, picks it back over to Calderon, and he'll use the glass and kiss it down and get his 7th point of the night. Dominguez gets it over to Smith as they get into the front court. Reach in foul on Sarda, his second, team's third. So Bubba will inbound it right in front of his bench. Gets it in the backcourt to Chance, and he'll walk it across. Picked up man-to-man. Sweat almost got away with the double dribble. Gives it to Bubba down the corner to Dominguez. He'll launch the three ball off the back of the rim. Bubba Zacharias with another rebound. Out top to Chance Smith. They'll reset the offense. Way to keep it alive. Sarda reaching in, pretty handsy, no call. 5 count, they able to advance it. Horton Sweat, handsy all over Zacharias, jump stop. Chandler will take the three from the right corner, off the rim. Rebound pulled down by Sweat, out of bounds. Actually almost got away with a walk. De La Hoya gets in the front court, smacked away. Bubba Zacharias with another block as Garcia took it to the glass. Over to Chandler, right side, picks up his dribble. Gets called for the travels, he's tied up. Should have been a jump ball, I agree with Coach Stumbo. Good defensive play, but should have been a jump ball call there. Still would have favored the Cubs, but so Garcia will inbound it. Sarda will go to the bench. Ramsey back in for him. 4-11 in the contest. A 27-point lead for the Bulldogs tonight. Garcia, tip pass to Calderon in the paint. He'll take it to the glass, forces a shot up and gets it to drop. Young man is just too strong. Only about 6 foot. 6 foot, probably 220, 230. Smith into the front court, drops it down. Tried to get it to Winterick, turnover. Garcia will take it the other way with 3:40 left. Throws it right back to Smith. Chance is going to take it to the glass, draws contact. Doesn't get it to drop, but it'll go to the line. Call on number 1, that's Quarter Sweat. 4th team foul. Quarter will pick up his second as Chance Smith will go to the line. 11 points on the night, all here in the second half. First shot is good. Sterling Clower back in as Garcia will go to the bench. Cubs only scoring 8 points here in the second half. Second foul shot by Chance Smith is good. Demo the Great into the ball game, replacing Bubba Zacharias, so the seniors' night will probably be done. Demo, a 5'10 junior, averaging 1 point per contest. Get a push foul on Chance Smith, his third, team's third. As Coach Stumball going to his bench. Domingos and the Great into the game as well. Winterick out on the floor as well as Will Chandler. Wouldn't be surprised we see Jace Taylor soon. Ramsey back out top to Sweat. Over in the corner. Clower back out to Sweat. 3 ball from the left wing, nothing but net. Sterling Clower picks up his first 3 points of the night. Into the front court, Dominguez. No one guarding, thought about the 3, little shake and bake, gets it down. Gets it into the paint. He's going to get called for the travel as he shuffled his feet. As Caden Sweat coming to the scores table. 24-point lead now, 49-25. So Sweat bounces into Calderon into the paint. He'll force it up. Demo the Great with the rebound. Nice job on the getting position to fight off the big man. So Calderon, that will be his 4th if I have it logged correctly into the book. We then say into the game, the junior has to wait before they shoot the shot as the Great will go to the line, shooting 2. First shot for DeGreat drops as the crowd erupts. Student body very vocal tonight. Caden Sweat, chances Chance Smith night is over. Freshman will leave with 13 points unofficially. So DeGreat second shot, a little hard. Rebound, fought there by Winterick on the floor. If there's anybody on the floor, it's going to be Phillip. And he gets called for the push. Very physical player. Not afraid to get dirty and get some burns off the floor. Sorry, folks, forgot to switch the camera there. Loose ball. Chandler tracks it down. He'll take it to the front court and to the glass and gets it to drop. Nice job by Will Chandler. He'll pick up his first two. Sweat into the front court. DeGreat with the steal. 2:30 left. Back to Chandler. We'll drop it off to Vincez. Ramsey on him. Back over to DeMo. Timeline extended. Right side. Stutter step. He'll hand it off to Chandler. Stepped out of bounds. It'll be a turnover. As Coach Stumbaugh shakes his head in agreement. So quarter Sweat out. Ramsey or Hernandez back in. All right, folks, let me get that down there. Hernandez on the right side. Tried to clear some space with his right hand. Reverse layup. Gets it to drop. Did a good job of getting to the glass. 52-27. Chandler crossover, gets a push by Sweat, no call. 1:47 left. DeGreat picked up there by Clower. Gets the cut. Sweat takes steps in front of it, picks it off, goes the other way. He'll lay it in. Misses the shot, or lay it up, I should say. Misses the shot and out of bounds. It will be Cub basketball. Gets it into Hernandez, top of the key. He'll launch a three ball off the backboard. Calderon with the tip in. Got the rebound and got the second effort. Young man's put up 8 points here in the second half. Give him 11 overall. Down to 1:20 in the contest. 23-point lead, 52-29. DeMo drops it off to Vincez, loops it up and drops it down. Louis gets his first 2 points of the night. Hernandez, front court, over to Clower in the paint. He'll loft it up with a 3. Rims in and out. Calderon forces his way with the rebound and puts the putback back in. Chandler will walk it across. Coach Stumbaugh wants him to hold it, slow it down. Caden Sweat on him, gets it to Winterick, top of the key, pulls it back out to the timeline. 40 seconds now. Sweat drops it off. Sweat in defense. He drops it off to DeGreat. Back out top to Winterick. Over to Will Chandler. 30 seconds now left in the game. Not trying to advance the basketball to score, just trying to eat the clock. Winterick picks up his dribble, drops it back over to Chandler, back out to the timeline. 20 seconds now. Picks up his dribble, over to DeGreat. Top of the key to Chandler. He'll take it to the glass, get fouled. No foul called. As Sweat comes down with the rebound, he'll take it the other way. Gets away with a double dribble. Ramsey gets his shot blocked on a 3. Rebound, and they call a foul. Actually, they do not. Time will expire. Your final will be 54-31. Bulldogs victorious. We'll come back and wrap this one up. CBUS Sports Broadcasting. So your final tonight here from McGregor High School, 54-31, a 23-point victory. Pick up another win in the district, as the Bulldogs will improve to 9-12 overall. 2-0 in district play. The Cubbies will drop to 11-14, 1-1 in district play. Scoring in tonight's contest for the Cubs of Clifton High School, Rico De La Hoya finishes with 5 points. Sterling Clower with 3. Eduardo Garcia with 3. Elliot Hernandez with 7. And leading scorer Elijah Calderon with 13 points for the Cubs tonight. For the Bulldogs of McGregor High School, Luke Appleby with 2 points did a lot of good work on the glass. I think he had 5 assists tonight, so he did good on the floor, even though it didn't come in the scoring column. Off the bench, Demo DeGreat with 1. Philip Renerick, as always, 2 points. Fought hard, did a lot of dirty work on the floor, hitting the glass and getting the loose balls. Then comes in off the bench, gets 2 points tonight. Bubba Zacharias only finishes with 5, but I believe he had 10 rebounds. Will Chandler with 2. Chance Smith, 13 points, all in the second half. Braxton Franks with 9, a good game for Braxton. And Juju Franks leads all scorers tonight with 18 points in the contest. Upcoming games for the Bulldogs. We'll go over this real quick, then we'll wrap it up and head back to Gatesville. Friday night, that game down at Troy, we'll have to see what the weather is going to be like and whether we're able to broadcast that or whether they'll cancel the game. Hard to tell based on the weather that comes in. On Tuesday, January 27th, the Whitney Wildcats come in to McGregor here to take them on. On the 3rd, West will come down. That is a Tuesday game. Then on Friday, February 6th, we'll travel up to Clifton for the rematch of tonight's contest. Once again, your final. Bulldogs. Forgot the score already. Excuse me, folks. Bulldogs 54-31 over the Cubs. Appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate the athletic department here at McGregor High School, as well as the assistance from the coaching staff at Clifton High School to help us get prepared for tonight's broadcast. Hopefully, folks, check out our website, cbussportsradio.com. See if we're going to be broadcasting Friday night here on CBus Sports Broadcasting. Have a good weekend, or have a good evening, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday night. You're listening to the CBus Sports Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week.